Hi everyone, my name is Justice Inkum, and today I want us to just have a conversation. So basically, I came across something on LinkedIn, and I think it's something I've come across quite a number of times, and I think we can share it so that all of us can learn something as the days go by. So today I'm going to talk about the rank and the dense rank. Now, these are two Windows functions in SQL, and they help in ranking, let's say, a table, or maybe ranking a result or ranking rows, in so to say. And one thing that is vital to mention about these two is that they appear to be very similar. However, they tend to handle ties quite differently. Now, when I say ties, what I'm trying to talk about is rows with, let's say, equal number of, be it equal number of exactly what you're looking for. Let me put it that way. That makes it quite open to what I'm trying to draw your attention to. Rows with equal values in that case. So if you are, let's say, looking for employees with the same salary, or let's say employees with the highest salary, and it happens that there are 3 employees having the same salary, how the rank function is going to handle these equal values, and the aftermath of it is different from how the dense rank function is going to do it. So basically, the general idea of ranking exists in the rank function and the dense rank function. That is to say that the chances of you using these two functions interchangeably is very high, because there are some cases where if you use dense rank and rank function, you are going to end up with the same answer. This is mostly in cases where the data, or let's say the column you are looking at, has no ties, especially most of the times when you are looking at, let's say, a very small table or even a big table that talks about the salary of employees, and it happens that there are no 2 persons or more that tend to have the same salary. Then if you are ranking them based on salary, you realize that a person using dense rank and a person using rank are going to end up with the same result. Now in this case, you realize that you can get away with this, especially in a technical interview. You are likely going to get away with it if the contest, or if the interviewers are not trying to scrutinize the whole thing in a particular contest. But there are also instances where using the rank will kind of give you a wrong answer, or let me say an incomplete answer, or a not so true answer. But using the dense rank will actually be what is being expected of you. You understand? Now, with that said, let's say I'm going to use some examples. Let me put it that way. Some examples to kind of substantiate these claims that I'm making. And it's not a claim I am making, it's something that exists so far as these two functions are concerned. So without wasting much of your time, I think we should head to let's head to my Postgres SQL, and let's find out whether what I'm saying is the case or that is not the case. Okay, so let's dive right in. So we have this query over here. Now let me zoom it out so that you can see it very well. Yes, and as you can see, we have this nice query right here. And what is vital to mention is that with this particular code, you can see the dense rank in here. Right now, in this instance, what happened is, even if we change the dense rank to rank, we are going to end up with the same thing, and I'll prove that in a minute. So let's zoom out, then we come here. Let's run this code and see what we get. Sorry. Now we are using the dense rank Thank you. What are we looking for with this particular query? We are supposed to find the employees with the highest salary. You understand? The highest. So if it happens that there are two people having the highest salaries, then those two people should appear. If it happens that it's one person, then that one person should appear. If it happens that we have 10 people being paid the same amount of money as the highest paid people in the company, then they have to appear. Now, because this particular data set we are using kind of has only one person in that particular position, when you use dense rank or when you use rank, you're going to get the same answer. So as we have done, dense rank gave us this employee, that is the employee ID 2, right, with $27,000. Let's change the dense rank to just rank and find out what happens. Now once you do that, you run it and voila, you realize that it's giving off the same answer. So like I stated earlier, when it comes to the rank and the dense rank, the whole idea of ranking exists between both functions. You understand? The difference comes in when there are ties and you want to find out maybe the next entry after those ties. That's where most of the time these differences comes in. That's what I call the extremities of these functions. You get the point now. So with this said, in this particular instance, both rank and dense rank will end up giving you the same thing. So in a technical interview, the one who uses dense rank, the one who uses rank, both of you are going to get the expected outcome and probably get away with it if they decide not to scrutinize the whole thing in any particular contest. You understand? Now let us look at a different instance where using rank might end up giving you a different answer or might end up giving you an incomplete answer, and using dense rank will actually give you the needed or the sought after output. So let's come right here, and I'm using a particular data set called sales. So to have a feel of the data set, I'll select all from my sales data and run it so that we have a look at what is in that particular data. So this is the content of the data set. Now as you can see, we have some entries having the same sales amount. You understand? Some being different, but you can see that in this particular data set we have some having the same amount, unlike the previous one where none of the salaries we were looking at appear to be the same. Okay, so with this particular one we want to try both sales and we want to try both rank and dense rank to see what will come out of it. So we want to determine the top 3 tiers of salespersons based on their sales amount, right? So with this we can use subquery or even use a CTE. Now I prefer the CTE, so let me use a CTE with the name top tier. So with top tier as, then I go into select. Now what am I selecting? Let me select my employee ID, and my sales amount. Okay, so I've selected the two. Now I have to rank them. So with the first instance I'm going to use the rank, and I'm going to rank over. Now what am I ranking over? I'm ranking over the sales amount. So let me use order by, because I want it to arrange from the highest sales down to the ranking should be done from the highest sales amount down to the least. You understand? So order by, I'm using the order by descending. So order by the sales amount, and I use my descending, and I gave it a name, so let me call it as tier. So this is going to be our tier. Then we know that we are selecting these things from the sales data. Yeah, basically that is that for our CTE. So we can run the content of this CTE, to see what we will get, whether our query is basically on point before we kind of move on. So yeah, when we run the content of our CTE, this is what we are getting. It has ranked the table, or it has ranked our employees right from the highest sales amount down to the least. You understand? And you can see that the highest sales amount is getting the tier 1 category, then followed by tier 2 and what have you. Now let's now go to we trying to select the top 3. But let me also mention one particular thing right here. You realize that from the beginning of this video I made mention of the fact that, well, when it comes to rank will give the numbers, like the kind of categories, to what you are looking for. And when there are ties, what it does is, if there are 3 ties in a particular place, or maybe 2, what it does is that the next entry, which is going to be the next category, will not be given the immediate number that follows. It is going to give it a number that will compensate for those that are tying. That is, in case we are to just find a way to separate them, you realize that they can still fit in the missing gap. You understand? So in this case, you realize that we have tier 1, we have 2 entries in tier 2, but there is no tier 3. That's what the rank function does. It has skipped the tier 3 with the impression that maybe the second tier 2, in case there is anything, then it has to fall back to it, the 3rd position, then it will get that 3rd number. So the entry which was supposed to be in tier 3 has now been pushed to tier 4. That's what the rank function does. You understand? Now with the dense function, you realize that the dense rank function will still acknowledge the 4th entry as the tier 3, in the sense that for the dense rank, it doesn't give any gaps when it comes to the ranking. So if 10 people are tying up in a particular rank, the dense rank doesn't really care whether they should be separated or anything of that sort. What it does is, it is just giving the ranks. So 10 people can be in a particular rank, it doesn't care. The next rank should be the immediate number that follows the rank that tied up. And for this particular question that deals with you finding the top 3 tier of sales people, you realize that yes, I don't want to say the answer right from here, but well, let me just spell it out. You realize that the dense function will rather be more appropriate for this one. But enough of the explaining. Let me just show you by doing this whole thing. So at this point, I select. Now I want to find my top 3 tier. So what I do is I select my employee ID, followed by my sales amount, then my tier. So I have these. Then where am I selecting them from? I'm selecting them from my CTE. So my CTE's name is top tier. So from top tier, because I want to find out the top 3, right? So where tier is less or equal to 3. Is that not the case? So we end it here. Now when you run this, first of all, by observing the content of the CT, you realize that there is no 3rd rank. There is a gap between the 2nd rank and the 4th rank, which was supposed to be the 3rd rank, but there is no 3rd rank there, right? So let's run this and see what we will get. Yeah, so when you look at this, you realize that we were only given the tier 1 and the tier 2. There was no tier 3. But imagine this same question. Imagine another person in that same, let's say, technical interview puts in the dense rank instead of the rank. When we run this, let's pay attention to what happened here. Now we have only 3 entries in here, right, for the rank. When we run the dense rank, you realize that the same code, the only thing we changed was the rank to dense rank, right? Now we are having 4 entries instead of the 3. In that, in this particular case, the 3rd tier has actually been added because there was no gap between the 2nd tier and the 4th tier. You understand? So in this particular case, you realize that this one answers the question more precisely than using the rank. So the rank now turns out to be an incomplete answer to that question. You understand? Now this one will be simple because I understand that there are some interview questions that they might give you maybe the expected outcome so that you can write a code to generate the same thing. You understand? Yeah. So in that case, maybe if you are given something like that, then obviously when you see that by running the query with rank, you are not getting this, maybe you'll be forced to change the 3 to 4 when you have the rank and run it. Now when you do that, you are going to get the same answer as this one, only that you realize that under the tier you are going to see 4 instead of 3. So your entries in terms of the salary amount might look the same, right? But this is either incomplete or wrong. Let me put it wrong in the sense that we wanted the top 3 tier, but you are telling us about the top 4 tier, and that is a problem. You understand? So you might run everything is running and all that, but because you don't know the technicalities between some of these functions that tend to do similar things, in some instances you might face a challenge. And one thing with technical interviews is that sometimes you will not even know whether you were wrong, or like, so far as the code runs, you might not even cross-check whether what I'm doing is correct or is wrong, because I think you are time bound in most cases, so you don't have the liberty to sit and worry or maybe try and figure out whether what you have already done is correct. If they ask you questions about it, maybe that one will be in your interest so that you'll be able to see whether you did something wrong or not. But you might end up walking out from a technical interview feeling very good about yourself if you use rank, only to find out that what actually answers this question is the dense rank. So I just decided, let me share this thing with you so that you will be able to kind of take note when you are preparing for any technical interview. Sometimes these things, reading about the differences between functions that appear to, or let me say Windows functions that appear to be similar, might probably feel like a tedious work, but when you get to know some of these technicalities of it, it might encourage you more to read about some of these things and also practice them so that you won't face any of these challenges in an interview, which might cost you maybe a nice paying job. You understand? Because data analysis are one of the well-paying jobs we have currently. So missing out on something like that will be a bit worrying. But like I said, we are all learning. So this is what I came up with and decided to share with you. So you can also share something you've come out with so far as you started your data analysis journey, so that other people will also learn. Now, till we meet again, I think you should keep watching and maybe following me on YouTube and even on my LinkedIn channel. Now on YouTube, I'm Justice Inkum, LinkedIn Justice Inkum. So you can probably subscribe to my YouTube channel, and also you can connect with me on LinkedIn or follow me on LinkedIn. Either ways, I'm okay with that, so that we can help each other learn more as new technologies and new ways of doing things keep appearing every day. Okay, so catch you in the next one, and bye for now.